The factory name is Cotton Blossom India Private Limited, and we are a family-run company. My brother and sister, three of us have started this actually in the year 1997. We registered, and 1999 was my first export actually. We started with 40 people and around 12 machines and a bike. So sampling becomes very important when you start actually. So that's how it started. See, the idea was keep engaging everyone actually. So gave everyone one area department as and when it grew. Even still, I only take projects and I keep pushing the project and go thing. That is what is my job is actually. Then Joseph and Philomena make sure they come in and make sure that align and it goes properly. So this is how it works. No, it's all basically no formal training and all that. It's hard, like you learn in the process, and I think in garmenting industry it's not that complicated. It's a very simple thing. If you understand, time is the essence actually in the whole thing. So that is something you'll never get back. And if you keep some few things like that in your mind, and everything works well. So Tiruppur is like a Detroit for US actually, like in the automobile. This is anyone comes here because you find the entrepreneurs mostly, I would say 80-90% of the entrepreneurs are either one time they have been working in some factory, then they become entrepreneurs and things like that. So this is the strength of Tiruppur, because they start with like 12 machine, 15 machine sort of a thing and factory, and then they scale it up and they go up, and that's why you find more than 15 or 20,000 SME clusters. So this is what is. Otherwise, the big ones, if you say it should be around 20-30. Balance everything as SMEs are the one who's promoting the city. It's small. Okay, Tiruppur is, this is the thing. Today's worker is tomorrow's entrepreneur. That's sort of a mindset, and Tiruppur accept everyone. Like I am from Kerala. When I came in, I don't have a problem here because it's a place can accommodate any sort of people. We have people from the north, south, east, west, everywhere becoming entrepreneurs. So if you are wanted to push work hard, this is a place. This place at one point of time it never used to sleep. Of course, after COVID and all, it's sleeping. That is a different thing. But at one point of time, yes, it never sleeps. It has to be 24 hours working actually. Western map, it is very much clear for Tiruppur. There is the biggest export hub sort of a thing. And now it's not even export. It is for local market also, because I think we do around 33,000 crores per year in exports and 27,000 crores in domestic. So it's almost equal. In fact, the domestic is picking because you find the middle income Indian going up and they want fashion, and it is not the woven and the knits, because for casuals knit is becoming casual, and it is definitely the prices. No buyers looking at anything else actually. Of course, there is a lot of things you need to fall in to become a buyer, because you need to have the compliance part very strong, social compliance, environmental thing, depending on the buyer, because either you are buying from an importer or a direct stores. So then they have their clause, because when they come into place order with you, first their team, compliance team visit, then their quality team visit, then there is a exercise on the pricing that happens, whether it's matching the pricing, and then finally your designing capability. So which means it covers everything actually. So only then they will start placing orders. There's no comparison between Bangladesh and Tiruppur, because Tiruppur is created by SME companies. Bangladesh is not like that. It's all basically either you have a Chinese background because they are the raw material base, so they send the raw material. For them, the raw material has to go to another country and they are able to bring in, so they tie up with the Bangladeshi. The factories are mega sized actually. So even that's why the brands prefer that place, because they a one-stop solution for a big brands like that. So what we are getting here will be a spillover of that actually. It is not what we are seeing, because the market is too big actually. Why the buyers like us? When there is a pressure, because when you have big format factories, you cannot suddenly cater to the market. If there is a swing up, that's the time they come to Tiruppur and they find the SMEs, like I said, they don't sleep 24 hours. So if you want even a 45 days shipment out from order to finish, 45 days, 60 days, 60 days is a normal thing. Everybody does for 60 days and 45 days are there, people are doing, which is what they are looking. Those buyers are looking, comparing them with the Turkey, not Bangladesh.
Okay.
So these Turkey orders are one of the short runs, faster thing. Those are Turkey orders that they pick up here. There is a benefit of around 11%. They get a GSP benefit because importing country, they don't have tax for Bangladesh. For India, we have to pay. So there we become not competitive. That's why they move to Bangladesh actually. Cotton blossom, we are far ahead in environment actually, because basically this is not a buyer came and said, because it was a philosophy of the company to leave this place for the next generation better than what you are taken. So in that way we said we will not pollute, we will make sure everything is done in the right way. So this is something we are taken, and that's why we went for the highest certification that you can think in a compliance right now is a C2C, Cradle to Cradle, and we are Cradle to Cradle Green Certified, which covers compliance, which covers social compliance, which covers environmental, which covers energy, like green energy, recycling, and even the product, if you put it into the soil, it becomes nutrient rather than a pollutant. So that's a level at what we are looking at. Tiruppur, yes, it's an SME place, so definitely to bring all the SME together and tell them about environment, that and this is very, very difficult, because too small. So what has happened is, there was a pollution issue in Tiruppur and every dye house has to close down. When this happened, everybody woken up and said, okay, how to do it? Then the ruling was we have to do zero liquid discharge, which means there is not even a drop of water which has to go. Then the clusters got together, SMEs got together, each cluster said they will have a common CTP sort of a thing, and that is being developed, and that is being developed from outside. I think from Europe and all, people came and supported, and it is being done. Now there is zero liquid discharge, so which means Tiruppur is somewhere else, although we learned it in the hardest way. But then now Tiruppur not even discharge even one drop of water actually. So that is one thing. And another thing, what happened is, knowingly or unknowingly, because there was government support on the windmill and earlier thing, everybody invested on windmill. Even my factory spinning mill, I think 70% runs on a windmill power. Dye house runs 70% on a windmill power. This particular park, we have our own windmill also. This association has got a windmill. This is around 10-12 windmills are running, and we run this park on windmill. So it's again green energy park actually. So that's why after some time we are pushing into make this whole complex into a green complex. So this is what we are looking at it actually. So the wind compared to the generation of wind and what we use, we can actually have 3 Tiruppur cities power, green power that we are bringing in actually. That time basically there was good schemes from the government for investment, because there was on your depreciation benefit was there and things like that, so you are able to run it. It happened like that, but ultimately it has become even power wise, we pull your power and then your cost of running in your spinning mill become much less actually. So it's earlier it was cost, now it has become environment actually. It is when we talk about it only people get to know. That is the problem. We are not, as Tiruppur, we are not advertised properly. Everyone knows we are very good knitwear hub, but the benefits on green energy, on zero liquid discharge, these are not spoken very much actually. So what happened is the bad news goes faster than the good ones actually. So what will happen is sometime if there is some small thing that goes into the press all over the place, and then it looks as if Tiruppur is crazy. It's not like that. I can vouch myself from the day I started my dye house, not even a drop of water has gone out actually. So I am very proud of that actually, anytime. So this is what every Tiruppurian has to say, every dye house has to say the same thing. It's key challenges are many actually, because you find earlier when I started this factory, I would say 70-80% of the workforce was from Tamil Nadu. Now 70-80% of the workforce is either Orissa, Bihar, Manipur and all these areas, Assam and things like that. So there is migration of workers are coming. So smaller factories are gone into the towns and they have started settling into the villages, so-called people from Tamil Nadu. So that is a good thing. What is the biggest challenge what I can see is when the migration happens, and after some time when the comparatively now the Orissa, Jharkhand, Bihar, all these areas are picking up for apparel. Main emphasis, and government is giving very good schemes there. So 30% salary is being paid, ESIPF being paid, then power concession, everything. And when you have all these things, challenges coming, and factories open up in a bigger, much bigger way, organized and things like that, the pricing advantage of Tiruppur will go away. And the migration of labor could happen the other way around also. Now we are bringing, and that's so skill transfer is happening actually. So at that moment, again, even one more area will be cotton. We are only growing 5%, although we have the highest spinning mill. We are bringing cotton from either Maharashtra, Orissa, Telangana, and all these places, and there is a huge logistic cost that is happening. So when all these areas started building factories, the fabrics will start moving in there. So you will have again another problem of cotton shortage. So definitely the government has to look at and make sure there is more cotton growing happening in Tamil Nadu, which we have a lot of lands actually, so we have to really work on it, how the government and farmers work together. That's one area to mitigate this challenge, one. And the second one, of course, the green Tiruppur could be one great thing, because as I said, we can have green energy we are done, and zero liquid discharge we are done. So most of the compliance issues are done. Only thing we have to do is maybe housing for the people and things like that, more that is administration's job actually. So administration has to step in and make sure those things are protected, so that families live here, they don't go migrate back, because If they come as a family and settle, then they definitely see more better schooling and education and chance of getting job, and then they stay back actually.
Yeah.
That is something we have to, those ecosystem we have to do. See, these families who are coming in now are coming with becoming a tailor or something like that. The aspiration level for the next kids will be to give them an English medium school and things like that, and then when that happens and the kids' aspiration is being a IT hub, Tamil Nadu, they all become either Bangalore or IT hub in Coimbatore and things like that. So that is becoming big. So the next generation, when they come in, they have to have that particular, they have to have some notch up rather than their places. My merchandising manager, who's working, actually joined us, my office boy.
Okay.
So in the span of this 15 years, he is now merchandising manager. So we expose people to that level actually. So that is one example.
Yeah.
Otherwise, all my staffs, senior staffs from the inspection, they are there. And we challenge them because we don't keep them stagnated in one area. That's where it's not the money basically, it's when the stagnation happens, they get bored. So if we are able to give them more and more challenges, that is the way to push people up. Those kids are definitely studied abroad and come back actually. I'm happy they came back because so most of them stays back abroad and say, okay, I'm happy working here. The environment is totally different. So that didn't happen. That is good. I'm lucky that way. They both wanted to come back and be with us. They of course, they have a different challenge compared to what the challenges we are going through. We are at a building stage actually. Now this is sustaining and going further. So there is a lot of work they have to do themselves, and right now is a challenging time. Markets are very tough after the COVID actually. It's not picked up. If you have huge spikes actually, up and down and the spikes. So one way I'm happy they are joining us at the toughest time, but then it will be more clear. Otherwise, if it's an easy time, then they will think it's all fashion and running around and things like that. So that is not happening. So now they are accountable, they are looking at everything and pulling it through, making connections and how to see efficiency from the base. So which is very interesting actually. That is exactly, for Tiruppur, if I would say, it's actually a green city. In every word possible. This type of cities are nowhere in the world actually. So, but it is not marketed properly. So people like you all have to the one who has to take us to that area, because we are sitting here always. Marketing side we are also the buyer select and come here. This is a good part of it actually.
So from dollar city to green city.
From again.
Pitch it.
Yes. Yeah. The dollar city to green city is actually fantastic actually. Once it is green city, see what is happening. Every retailer has a target to buy minimum 40 to 60% of their garments sustainably made. Now, if a city is giving full sustainability, then for the buyers there is no problem. They can come and buy without a risk actually. What technology can do is like right now we are going conference and they say it has to be customer centric. Customer is what we have to watch. Currently we have been doing in cellulose. Actually there is a spinning mill, then a dyeing mill and everything. So everyone works differently. Now it's time for us to at least the technology can easily bring them together, get to know where are the areas that we can make it better. There will be ups and downs in each area. So look at these areas, and if the technology can connect all this seamlessly and bring in the customer delight. Customer delight is good quality at the right time, at the right price will make the customer delight. Plus the bonuses are the green and everything put together. So if that happens, and if we are able to view for every shipment the customer delight, that will be the best thing actually, because right now we don't even know how much is the sale, how much is going into the landfill, all that. All the people keep talking 2/3 of the garment goes into landfill, but not in India for sure.
No, so I think what technology
Recycle is now definitely we are exporting a lot of recycled garments. That is from shredded fabric, shredded t-shirts. Then we make recycled yarn, and we are making very good brands actually. So that is also being exported very heavily. So those are recycled. There is so everything is working at the right direction to be a sustainable city actually. Yes, it is made, but not in the full form, fullest. What IT industry or those things, even the shops and warehouses and all that, everything is so fantastic actually, because that's like picking a product and giving it, and they are addressing a product. Here from the value chain, every time it is changing. A yarn becoming a grey fabric, then it become a dyed fabric, then it become a printed fabric, and at the every stage there is a process loss, and process loss is there, so you'll have to calculate that. So it is making little more trickier for people in the chain, but I am sure now many seminars, even yesterday I was in CA one seminar, and they are talking about how to bring in the customer delight and things like that. So that is the thing right now. I want Tamil Nadu, every villages, that is village and a small town, to have the garment industry all over the place. Actually not in Tamil Nadu, I would like to have this in India, but basically let me say, Tiruppur, yes, we are having labor shortage, but that doesn't mean all the part of the Tamil Nadu. If you go to other part of small towns, there are people available where they don't have a job. So if the factories can move in these areas, give employment of the villages, so they don't have to migrate to the cities and things like that. Once this employment is generation, so the clusters has to become like 2,500 people can be employed, and that will be women actually mainly. If that can be doing, this is the mark what we have to create for Tamil Nadu. That is number one. That will be one thing. Another thing, sustainable. So much of land in Arpukotte, Virudhunagar, all these area, black cotton soil areas. Now nothing is being done there. They are empty. So if we are able to bring back cotton sewing in these areas, then we become cotton surplus. Then we are really supporting the industry with the raw material, because without the raw material your cost competitiveness is not there. So we'll have to build the raw material base. That's the second thing I would like to do in this time. So that will be the most challenging and interesting and exciting actually. You find very difficult to make a man sit down on the machine for 8 hours continuously. It's so difficult, because and it's all line production, but a female, when she sits, she is fully focused. We find it very interesting. In fact, productivity is much better, more organized, more systematic, and when the supervisor keep telling, it happens. Men, definitely it is a little more difficult actually, because they may go for a fag in between and come back and things like that. So all this happens, and in your line production this cannot happen at all. You need to have continuity, because seconds is what we are costing for the buyer. We call SAM cost, which means every second is being costed for the buyer. And if we don't achieve that, then it's gone. You are losing money. So that is one of the thing, and they continue also. They continue for a longer period. At least the one who's Non-married will be until married, then they may go away. But after marriage, we are seeing after 1 kid, 2 kids, if they come back, they stay for a longer period actually. So what we have done is basically when we started itself, we have thought about where they will stay and things like that. So we made sure they have good food, hot food at least. Good food is a different thing, because if I go to China and eat, that's why I keep telling all the time, that's a food which belongs there. But there you cannot say that's a bad food. That's a good food actually. So hot, clean food, that is one main thing, and the second thing is a place, a shelter which is comfortable and safe. Yeah. So if these two things are taken care, then they will start working for you. Yeah. Simple as that. That's I think you should work on this, because that is another two things which I said, the green and villages, small villages where the factories has to move in, because after agriculture, who's employing maximum people? This is the only industry which can employ, and India with all this 23 years young country and with so much of youth, we need to give them a good working environment. Otherwise, idle mind is a devil's workshop. 1,000 or 2,000 people factories open up. Let's say each one get a salary of 10,000 rupees in a month. Imagine that small city, how much of money is going to pump in. Then the other things that is working actually. So in the other shops and that and this other progresses automatically happens. So this is where it is, we need to create the start. Then the other things are automatic.